You froze up on me, and then I froze up on you. Right at the beginning.
Right. It was mutual. It's a mutual freeze. Mutual freeze, man. So what'd you do? What were you doing before you got on the show today? This is the Chris and Mike show episode. I don't really fucking know. And I'm Chris and he's Mike and we're rocking and rolling. Hey, dude.
This would be episode number 27. Yes, 27. I can't believe I remembered that.
27. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that means 27 weeks we've been doing this now.
That's what, 6 months and 1 week, if my stellar math skills are holding up. Right?
That's stellar, man. Way to go.
Episode 26 is 6 months.
Probably. I don't know.
There's 52 weeks in a year, brother.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Nice job. Way to go.
Yeah. I can't take credit.
So
Someone
what were you
else
doing
noticed it before
today?
me. I was...
Noticed what?
Somebody else noticed that episode 26 was 6 months. I can't take credit for that. I borrowed it because someone told me that when they noticed we were on that episode. They said, "Oh, well, you've been doing it for exactly 6 months."
Oh.
I think that was my buddy Keith walking into work one morning. Cool. So kudos to Gravy, as his nickname goes.
Keith. Oh, his nickname's Gravy? Gravy?
Yes, but his name's Keith. Gravy? He'll appreciate a shout out.
That's cool. Right on.
Him and his wife,
how
Jane,
did he get Gravy? What was the story behind Gravy?
Well, when you work in a factory,
how did Gravy come into play?
Learn to manipulate the system, to an extent, and some people learn to manipulate that system better than others. So, very, very smart guy, knows a lot, smart enough to know that he doesn't have to work as hard as some of the people who are running around there like chickens with their heads cut off. You'll die in there doing that. So it's just kind of a joke.
Yeah,
he's a great guy.
Huh.
One of those people that would give you the shirt off his back if he thought you needed it. So, and an avid listener.
Oh, I like those people. Those
him and his wife both. So shout out to Jane
avid
as well.
Listener.
Yes.
So is she potatoes and he's gravy?
No.
Because he's gravy. So mashed potatoes and gravy.
You're hilarious. Her name would be Jane.
I know. Gotcha.
So, yeah, just before we got on here, I was running through a couple tunes that I had played live on stage a few times. One of them being the great Ted Nugent, Can't Scratch Fever, just because it's easy to play and sing that one at the same time, and it's fun, and everybody seems to dig it. So we did that one. And in another band, I played Bryan Adams' Somebody, which is super easy to play, but very fun. I was telling Chris right before we got on here. Yeah. It's no wonder that he toured the world playing songs like that because they're super fun to play, catchy, simple, to the point, but well written and produced. The changes are in the right spot and everything's nice and tight and just fun.
Yeah. Bryan Adams has a good collection of hits, man. I got his best of. You don't realize how many hits an artist has until you get their greatest hits or their best of or their anthology things, and it's just like song after song. There's not a bad song on his greatest hits. Like he could literally just go on tour with those 15, 20 songs and play nothing else, and everyone would be happy.
Did I tell you my Bryan Adams concert experience at America West Arena back when it was called that?
You did not, but you're going to share. So go ahead.
Okay. So
let's know the 411 about the Bryan Adams concert.
Just because it seems this week I'm into telling super embarrassing stories because my nose got punched in the face by my medicine cabinet and fractured a small part of my nose because sometimes I'm a moron. I'll start with
this week.
I'll start
that
with
happened.
that story. Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah, you need to tell that story first, so we have some background.
Because I'm going to upgrade this studio, I've been working basically every Sunday since I don't remember when. I took a vacation in December, but I've been on and off. I've been going through stretches where I've been working 6 days a week for a long time. So I get up super early on Sunday, no
Okay.
problems, go to work, come home, wake up Monday morning. I fell asleep early. The reason I mentioned Sunday is because Sunday I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I get there at 4. I get off at 11. Life is good. Make a bunch of money. You're off before lunchtime.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
you get tired when you do this weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. So by Monday morning, I had
Agreed.
slept early Sunday. Woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning and I was wide awake. So I knew I was going to start my day. So I get up and I open the medicine cabinet, get my toothpaste out of there, and I go to reach for the mouthwash at the exact same time. And I didn't open the door apparently as far as I normally do. And I leaned forward to grab that bottle and it punched me right in the face because the door doesn't give, right?
Ouch.
So I heard the cartilage in my nose crinkle a little bit and it turned purple, and I'm a moron sometimes. That's just what you got to say. So anyway.
Damn, that sucks. That's terrible.
Moving on.
That's terrible. So now what's the real story, Mike? Are you in an abusive relationship and somebody pushed you into a door because you weren't listening? Because we all know, the medicine cabinet hit me is a cover up and a lie, man.
If anybody else lived here, I would surely at least jokingly blame them, right? But I'm the only one here, and then it starts to delve into the paranormal, and I'm not quite sure I'm ready to go that far,
Right.
My dad's trying to convince me that the shadow man punched me in the face.
Here. Yeah, see, there you go. See, we had ghosts last night. They were fucking with our lights in the kitchen. So after about an hour of that shit, I just turned all the lights off. I'm like, I'm fucking done. And they haven't fucked with it forever. Like, it's been since we saged it, they've been cool. Like, nobody's messing with the lights and flickering nothing. And then shit, last night, just out of nowhere, they decided, yeah, fuck you, we're gonna mess with you. So about an hour. I'm
so
like,
were they like turning the lights on and off?
It's like, what are you doing? They just make them flicker. They make them flicker. Like they'll be on like 8 hours
like
and have no issues.
Dimming down
whatever.
And going bright,
like,
dimming down, going bright. Is that what you're talking about?
Okay. Yeah, just flickering. Yep, it'll just flicker. It'll be like solid. We have these 3 coach lights over the kitchen island, and they'll be on 20 minutes or beyond 4 hours. And they're like this morning they were on with little man when he came over at 6 o'clock. I had him, or 6:30. I had him on at 6 and they were on until I left it at 7:35 and nothing, like absolutely nothing. They stayed steady the whole time. And last night when we went for a 2-mile walk, came back, made dinner, and the overhead lights, the recess lights that are all up in the ceiling, those started doing their little flicker thing. So I shut them off, and then the fuckers just went to the other ones. I have an electrician. He wired the whole house. He wired the addition. Like, no idea. Like, there's no logical reason behind it other than ghosts. So I just shut them off. I'm like, fuck you then. Like, they take some of Nikki's clothes. Like, they'll, we finally found the remote control that little man I set on a table one day that was missing for like months on end. We came in one day from something doing out back, and it was on the end table. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Kind of like what you with your dad. The end table was there forever. Like, there's no way that thing was on the end table. Because we see it every day, the end of the couch table, right?
Nope. That was Mama K and her makeup.
Nope. Just weird Yeah, Mama K, that's right. Yeah, just weird her shit like that, man. And now the lights, they came back, so I got to resage the house, I think. Yeah,
2 years.
Makeup bag, yep. So I think I got to resage the house.
2 years.
No, it's insane, man. 2 fucking
And one day
years,
she wakes up and there it is. How do you explain that?
That's what I'm saying. That I don't either. I don't know. That's why I don't explain. I can't explain the remote control to the remote control car. It was fucking clear as day. I'm like, came in from something. I'm like, holy shit. And nobody's in the house that day at that point except Nikki and I. So little man hadn't even come in yet, because then you first think, well, little man moved it. But no, it's just, there it is. So the lights started doing their thing. And so I shut off the main one. Didn't think anything of it. Then all of a sudden, like 5 minutes later, the middle of the coach lights started flickering, and I'm like, we looked up and then waited a minute, and then the end one flickered, and I'm just like, yeah, are you fucking kidding me? Doesn't do it on the other lights that are above the cabinets. Doesn't mess with those. It's just the whole room lighting, and then the coach lights.
Well,
It's the weirdest thing.
the last time that we went down the paranormal rabbit hole, I told you that I really hadn't experienced the paranormal myself, but I knew enough people that
Right.
I had to believe it. I start doing this podcast is great for just thinking back and going, well, there was that one time. So there's actually 2 incidents that
Right.
I've thought of since then. My aunt and uncle lived in a house in a town, further away from here, but around this area. And it was definitely haunted by a good spirit, apparently, because you'd walk in the bathroom and a lot of times they turn the light on for you. Like you'd want to leave the light off because it'd be the middle of the night and the light would go on, or the light wouldn't go on and the toilet would flush. Sometimes before you went to the bathroom, you just walk up to the toilet and it would just flush.
Right on. Yeah. Interesting.
And my aunt and uncle, they had all kinds of incidents in there, but it was always positive. And then when I first moved,
aren't negative at all.
No, you're seeing positive as well.
Yeah.
I know people who have been through some negative entities as well, and we'll try and get them on the podcast to tell their story.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You were saying when you first moved to Arizona?
Yeah, when I first moved to Arizona, I was probably there maybe 6 or 8 weeks. And I went to bed one night, and at the end of my bed, I could feel like it felt like a cat was walking at the end of your bed, just pushing down.
Yeah.
And it would get closer to me and further away, but it would never leave. I thought I was losing my mind, dude. This went on for years, and I never told anybody. So fast forward to, about the time that Carrie and I got together, right? So I moved there in 1993.
Yeah, we talked.
Carrie and I got together.
We talked about that, and they were doing the same thing.
She was the first person to confirm. I never told anybody. Story. Later on, I told my mom and dad.
You
and
talked
I told
about it on here.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
27 of them, I forget what I talked about. So that was my.
No, because the way it came up is the way it came up is when we were talking about the ghost in here before that. I sat down on the couch and I felt the end of the couch go down.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, what the fuck is that? And so, that's how that opened up. Yeah. So you told me you guys were in bed and you felt that shit at your feet and you're like, whoa.
Yeah. She said something first. She's like,
shit,
do you
man.
feel that?
It's
and
cool
I was
though.
Like, phew. Finally, somebody can confirm that I'm not insane because there were nights, man, where I thought I was just losing my fucking mind. It's like, what is this thing?
Well, yeah. It's a trip, man. It's definitely a trip to go through that shit especially if you don't have a real open mind, then it fucks with you even more, I'm sure.
Yeah, and back then
I have that thing that when you randomly
was not nearly as open.
Yeah, I have a right, and I have that random thing, and I kind of believe it that when you're randomly walking somewhere and you all of a sudden get the chills, that's a dead body walking through you or spirit.
Or you could be walking between dimensions.
You just don't randomly get chills for no reason. Oh, that's a good one too. I like that idea.
We don't know. So I further.
No, we don't know, but that's why I think it's something.
I think I might have talked about this too, but I'm not sure that I talked about the expanded definition. So the expanded definition of infinity is that everything that ever was, ever will be, everything, all the dimensions, all the universes, everything ever going on has already happened at least once. This is like Neil deGrasse Tyson, his level of scientist speaking. Yeah. So this podcast, you and I, what we just said, everything everything that's happening right now has already happened at least once. That's infinity. It's just a continuous loop that never stops.
Another world. Yeah. Yeah, that's a trip, dude.
And we know there's infinite
trip. I like
numbers of dimensions that they keep finding more and more. We're up to 12, 13 when we initially thought there were 3. Then we knew there was 4.
Right.
I'd have to use a Google
Well,
machine
the
to figure
world's
out
still
exactly
flat
where they're at.
because, right.
Yeah, careful of the ice wall.
So, so here's a fun. We don't talk about this very often, but you follow sports. I follow sports. You were a resident for a long time in the Valley of the Sun, so you were a Suns fan. Are you still a Suns fan?
Yeah, absolutely. Suns and the Bulls.
So they suck ass.
They
terrible. Suck ass now. Yeah, the Suns suck ass now. You know why they're terrible? Because the new owner took over last year, right? So new ownership. Robert Sarver had that stupid little, hashtag Me Too stuff going on that was never. I don't think it was ever proved. It was all allegations, right? So he had to sell the team. So he sold the team to some dude that I completely wrong, but I think he's in the mortgage industry somehow or financial industry, whatever. So he bought the team, and the first thing he does is fire Monty Williams, which was monumentally stupid, right? Because Monty Williams was taking them to the promised land. He just had one more little glitch to get over. And then they trade all of Devin Booker. Not Darren Booker. What the fuck is his name? Devin Booker. Damn it. Yeah, I just call him Book. So they trade all of Booker's supporting cast. Like they get rid of his entire 5-person bench and bring in the dumb fuck, Kevin Durant, who just sucks ass. I don't know why anybody thinks Durant is good. He's so far past his prime.
Agreed.
He's a twig of a human as far as like just twig meaning that he's so fucking skinny. And then the other dude they brought in, I don't even know who the fuck he is, and they just got their asses handed to them in the first round. Don't fix what's broken. Like I don't rationalize. I don't get that concept. Like Monty couldn't get over that final hump, so they let him go instead of just building on him. Build around Booker. Get Booker some better bench players, better supporting cast, a 1-2 punch. Jordan was Jordan regardless, right? Because Jordan was going to be Jordan regardless of who he played with.
Well, that's the problem with that Suns team,
right? John Parrish made right.
That Suns team would have won
a
championship had it not been for Michael Jordan. No question. They would have run over everybody. But they ran into the greatest basketball team that ever lived.
With right.
That's the year I moved to Arizona was that year that they went to the finals. What was it, game 6? They went 6 games with the Bulls in that series.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the year I moved there in 1993.
And Danny Ainge, fucking the Boston Celtic. Yeah. Yeah, the former Boston Celtic, Danny Ainge, threw the inbound pass to the fucking wrong person. Idiot. And he intercepted and shot and boom, momentum changed the game. Think about what was though. That was a terrible fucking pass for somebody who had such a long, lustrous career and somebody that had super basketball knowledge on the court, meaning Danny Ainge, to do that fucking stupidity. But yeah, they should have won. It would have been hard pressed to beat Jordan and the Bulls, regardless who you were, because I fully believe that had Jordan not taken those 2 years off once his dad died to go play baseball, which I think there was something else behind that, but I don't know, Michael. He's not going to ever call me back and answer my question, so we're just going to speculate.
I'll see what I can do about
getting
him on a podcast.
But had he not taken those 2 years off, they would have won. Thank you, because you live in the same city or state. But I really think that they would have had 8 in a row if he would have stayed on the team. They would have been 8. They would have just by far then. There would absolutely be no GOAT conversation throwing fucking LaFlop, who got swept.
There's still
again in the first round
ever.
How many times did Jordan get? No, I know, but people make it a conversation, man. It's so stupid,
dude. Jordan
did you see some of the highlights of him?
7.
Right.
He's like
game
he didn't
7.
Have to
because
he
don't
know what that's like. We were done in 6 games all the time.
I'm going fishing.
Right.
Or 4. Or 5, but yeah,
sure,
yep. Have you seen some of the bullshit LeBron pulls, man? Like lately, like somebody barely touched him in the head.
It's ridiculous. I can't watch it, dude. I just can't.
And fucking goes. I know he's so bad for basketball. I don't know why people even have him in the conversation and why people even look up to him. He's such a little bitch. Like he tries to get fouled of the most stupid reasons to get a foul. Like that, I saw the one where the dude barely brushed his head, and it, like 2 seconds later, LeBron's like, "Oh, my fucking head on the sideline." Like, dude, everybody thinks you're a little bitch. Everybody laughs at you, makes fun of you. Like, does he look at the memes that people put on social media? Because, like, legit, the dude's got to be completely isolated from all social media existence. Because if he wasn't, how could you be a man and look at that shit and defend it? Because it's not playing basketball. It's not being a good sport. It's not a technique. No. It's fucking ridiculous, man.
You know, one of my favorite memes.
I'm disappointed in the Suns.
Is LeBron sitting next to Jordan, and Jordan says, "You still wondering who the best is, right? It's on your jersey." And he's got Jordan logo, and LeBron obviously wearing the Jordan logo on his jersey, sitting right next to him. That's one. In my opinion, that's the end of the story.
Yeah,
that'd be like me thinking I'm the greatest guitar player in the world, playing Eddie Van Halen's Frankenstein guitar on stage or something like that. You know, it's like I made myself famous playing that guitar. I could never be as great as him, right? Because he invented the guitar. It's like he made that guitar famous.
Exactly. Yeah.
No matter how good I play that, everybody still sees Eddie Van Halen every time you played that particular guitar, correct?
Yeah. No matter what.
It's the same
Absolutely.
thing. Every time LeBron goes out on the court, he's got Michael Jordan logo on his damn jersey. I don't know why it's even a discussion. Mm-hmm. The fucking guy's on your jersey.
I don't either. I don't either. You know, and Kobe was pretty damn good, and they throw him in the GOAT conversation a little bit, but
at least Kobe was humble.
You know, they changed yes, and they changed the all-star little dude to mimic Kobe, which is like, yeah, okay, you know.
He wanted to be great.
I didn't
he never
really
said
agree with
he was great.
Right, exactly. And he emulated a lot of what Jordan did because they watched Jordan growing up. That's the thing that blows my mind. People who watched Jordan growing up, Jordan never took those little bullshit fouls and overacted and flopped and shit. Jordan just fucking, you're in my way, I'm going to drive through you. If I get fouled, great. If I score, great. If you foul me, I'm going to score some more because I'm going to be at the free throw line.
Yeah, he was more concerned about bowling you over.
Just crazy shit, man. Right. Yep.
I think he would look at the flopping of today as just being a bunch of sissies, you know? It's like, you guys are being wusses.
Jordan? Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't looking to fall over all the time. That's what drives my dad crazy is these guys fall down all the time. It just drives him nuts. He's like, the guy barely touched him. Why did he fall down? I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't answer that. You know, I really can't.
I agree. It's the fucking, I can't either. No, I can't either. It's fucking stupid because there's no reason behind it at all. None.
It just kind of ruins the game.
And it's what football's going. You see the new shit with football.
No, do tell. I'm curious what your opinion is about football for sure.
The football, the football thing they just did now, you can't tackle from behind. Right? So if I'm chasing you down, I'm not allowed to tackle you up and pull you down. I can't do that. It's not a horse collar tackle. I just can't do something tackling from behind. So it's legitimately turning into fucking just pansy league. There's something else that what was it? It wasn't too long ago that they dropped this thing that some stupid fucking, sorry, Mama K for swearing.
She's used to it.
Oh my God. You know that's what it is, dude. You know the helmets they practice with? Like you have the helmet on and you got that little soft cushion pad around it.
Finish this thought, but we got to go back to how you're supposed to tackle somebody that's running down the field and I'm behind you. If you get ahead of me, how do I tackle you?
I will. Exactly. I know. Okay, so the thing that I'm referring to, I don't know if that's going to come across. Okay, you see his helmet? Yep. So on his helmet is the cushion. Okay. See it?
Yes.
You can wear that now in a game.
What?
You can have your helmet on, and then you can have, and this is how they're getting around of it. To reduce player risk and continue driving innovations in equipment technology, Guardian caps have been authorized for in-game use this season. Guardian cap. You've spent your entire football career with a normal helmet on, who they've made just stellar advances in football helmets, right? From 30 years ago, 40 years ago, playing with those little fucking leather ones, right?
Right.
To today's standards. And now they're saying you can wear these little Guardian things. It's because that's going to prevent you from getting a concussion. It's like, okay, whatever. Don't get me wrong, listeners. The concussion shit is straight up, it's serious. There's been all kinds of documented cases and how it fucks with their brains and suicides and trauma and depression. I get all that, but like seriously, it's turning in. It's going to turn into flag football, dude. In our lifetime, look at the Pro Bowl game. The Pro Bowl game is already flag football. 2-hand touch flags.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the thing about tackling.
I guess my opinion on this is,
go ahead. Yeah.
Have we, as this current state of humanity, have we outgrown football? Because what you just described is exactly it's violent. People get hurt. They have life-changing injuries every year.
Absolutely.
Right? They have life-altering injuries that they find out about decades later from TBI, traumatic brain injury.
Yep.
I mean, seriously.
Yep.
I would think at some point we do outgrow it. Are we that?
Yeah.
Have we come far enough to where we're not satisfied by violence?
Yeah.
At some point, we have to be. Otherwise, we're going to end as a species. I know I just ruined football for everybody, but I'm a forward thinker.
No, but the thing is, man, it's like you don't play football knowing you're not going to get hurt. It's not a matter of if; it's a matter of when.
Correct.
There's nobody that can say they played football, regardless of if they were 5 or 35, that has not been hurt. Some come through unscathed. Jake, the worst thing he ever happened was he broke his collarbone when he was running back kickoff. Other than that, he was never hurt.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. But other than that, he was never hurt. But no, I take that back. When I was coaching him when he was in littler, he got his bell rung a couple times, and to the point that, like, dude, you get another concussion, you're no longer playing football.
See, and that's not good.
He was still young. He was under 15, and no, exactly not. That's why we're like, dude, you get another one, you're done. Like, not going to happen. And it was technique, and we were coaching technique. They were little kids, and we were doing the heads up football. I was certified coach. I had all the instructional classes and stuff on how to teach proper tackling. But it's one of those things, man. When you're trying to teach little kids how to tackle right, you're not even going full speed. You go through the drills so many times, and then when it's live, whatever happens. We had a couple kids that would do it. They would just do it wrong, and then we'd have to pull them aside and be like, it's called heads up. Everything you have to see what you're hitting. If you're looking at the ground when you're hitting somebody, you're doing it wrong. And straight up, dude, it was just a tackling drill, and I stand on the side. His helmet was down, and sure enough, bell rung.
So knowing that
it was
now,
a mild concussion, but he still had one.
And also knowing what we know now that we didn't know then when you were coaching is that your frontal cortex is not done developing until you're 25. It's like you are really taking a risk as a parent sending your kid out there. Mm-hmm. And my mom was not willing to take that risk because she worked at the hospital here in town for over 30 years. And at that point she had, at least 10 years in by the time I got to high school. And then she had, 15 or 18 years in when my brother got there. And she just saw too many kids come in there that either had to be life flighted to the next big town over or, best case scenario, like Jake, she saw collarbones and elbows and it just wasn't something. And, both of us were mad. Well, like we wanted to play and she just put her foot down. That was the only time that I can remember where she just said no. She overruled everybody. It was like, you are not playing football. You just do something else. For me, it wasn't as big a deal for my brother because I was playing guitar, so I was like, yeah, whatever. He really wanted to play because he was into sports.
Yeah. Well, and the truth can be said the same about baseball too. Baseball's violent. You get a 100-mile fastball flying at you, at
it's
100
not
miles
safe.
an hour. You don't get out of the way. There's players that got drilled. No, you get hit with that baseball all the time. Wrestling's not safe, right?
No.
Soccer's not safe. I broke my leg playing soccer. So there's really nothing from a sports. I can't think of any sport that's safe really, because there's always some type of contact.
The only reason
maybe badminton, but really you could get that
the only reason I pick on the NFL
that little thing
so much is because there are no more massive human beings on earth that are running 4.4, 4.6 40s at 300 pounds. So now they're running that fast, like 17, 18 miles an hour at each other. And they have a violent collision like every 45 seconds, right? Minute and a half, whatever it is.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You don't have that in any other sport. Basketball could be contact to a point, but really it's not. Football is just so violent, man. And those guys, like you said, they know they're taking that risk, but at what point is it not worth it anymore?
Yep.
I guess when they're not paying you $100 million.
It depends on the individual, because the thing is, right, because that's what I was saying. It all depends on the individual, because there's a lot of people in the NFL that come from areas of the country that sports is their only way out. Football, baseball, basketball, that's it. And
Agreed.
So they're going to play regardless. And then I like you look at Eli Manning, okay? Eli Manning missed one game because of Ben McAdoo's entire fucking career, which is insane, right? One game. You can't tell me that Eli never played with a concussion. You can't tell me that he never played with some type of injury, because you don't play that position and get drilled the way he got drilled and never leave a game. He never left a game, like ever.
But he's one out of
Tom Coughlin's on the record lately saying, well, oh no, absolutely. And Coughlin even said he's by far the best big game player he's ever seen in his life, that he's ever even coached. It's totally a miracle, because look at his brother. His brother was dinged up all the time. Brady had, for the most part, a very solid career. He had that 1 year he missed because of his knee, and I think there was something else that he had an injury with. But then as he got older, he realized he had to work harder to be in the best top physical, mental shape possible.
Correct.
And which minimized his injuries and shit over his last probably 10 years, because, like the dude was a baller till his last year. He kind of like, you could tell he fell out of the woodwork,
Well, you just hit the nail on the head with him. He put in the work. In his case, he kept, his whole physique kept getting better looking. It's like his body, you could tell he wasn't aging.
Right.
Everybody said it. It's like, Jesus, the guy just keeps looking younger. He's more ripped and he looks younger every year.
Well, part of that was Giselle.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
Part of that was Giselle. The way she would fucking reel him in, and his diet and shit, and when football started, he was on the strict regiment that it was always rumored that it was all Giselle's. This is the structure. This is the regiment. You're gonna do this shit.
But even if it was, he followed the routine. At the end of the day, somebody can tell you all day long, you got to work out 3 days a week. You got to work out 4 days a week. That's great. You might have a trainer that's telling you exactly what you need to do. If you don't put forth the effort, you're not going to get any results. That's what I'm saying is I give him credit for at least sticking to, it doesn't matter who told him. He did it.
No. And I think that's the same. That's the same with everything. If you want to be good at your craft, you got to put in the time to make sure you're good at your craft and the best that you can possibly be. Regardless of what it is. You look at Tyson. Tyson's still fighting, and they're saying he's in the best shape he's ever been in his life.
But
he's what, 57?
I agree with you there. But with that said, I should throw in the caveat that if somebody gave you the roadmap to be the best, you should also share that too. You know, if she truly
Right.
did plan out every meal for him
100%.
and all his workouts, he
Mhm.
should say, hey, you know, I wouldn't have done any of this had somebody not cared
Yeah.
enough to, you know,
Right.
be my CEO or whatever.
Right. I don't think it was more. I think it was more of the nutrition side that she had a big hand in, as opposed to the. He's had a trainer, because I watched. There's a couple things that I've watched about the Patriots. Being a Giants fan, you know, I love the Patriots because we stole 2 of his Super Bowl rings. Not we personally, but the team. I try to always not include myself as we, because I don't play on the team. I don't coach the team. I don't draft the team. I'm not an administrator on the team. I am a fan sitting
But
in a
you are a
chair in
lifelong
Arizona
fan.
watching the team.
I will attest to this. You've always been a Giants fan ever since I've known you.
And
that goes back to 93 or 4.
right. And agreed. I have random text. But what my point is, oh fuck, I lost my point. What's my point, Mike?
Rewind.
Right. Now, in another dimension, I expressed my point, you know.
No. Yeah, in another dimension, you did express your point. You're currently doing so
in another dimension, right?
But if we go down that rabbit hole in
I know.
another dimension, you're in the current state that you're in right now, too, because it not only could have happened once, it could have happened multiple times, and probably has many, 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 many times. So
Yeah.
that's the Joe Rogan Netflix special joke. He says, he explains this, and then at the end of the joke, he says, so the next time someone says, you couldn't possibly be this fucking stupid, you say, yes, apparently I am.
Right.
Because you know it's happened before, right?
And that's what it is. You said right, and you said Netflix, so that reminded me. It was the
Look at me go.
The specials they had. Well, one was on Apple TV about the Patriots or Brady, one or the other.
That is where you were at, too.
Both of them are really good. Really good insight. And the other cool thing too, I don't know if you saw this though, but Manning, Eli and Peyton, and Omaha Productions, which is their production company, got extended 9 years for Monday Night Football on ESPN2, the Peyton and Eli show, whatever they call it. Which I watched that because I can't stand Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. I think they're fucking terrible commentators. So they got a 9-figure extension, so they're going to be on TV for the next 10 years, talking about football, Monday Night Football.
I flip
and
back
then
and
Chris
forth
Sims
between
and some other dude just got fired from CBS.
I like Eli and Peyton as well. I probably watch about 65% them and 35% the other.
I watch it all.
Well, the 35% the others just because I forget to flip the channel back. Up until recently, YouTube TV did not have a return button, so you could go back to the other channel. They finally added it. You would think a company of that size would have that under control.
Oh, do they? Okay, because I have YouTube TV. I have YouTube TV.
Okay, so
I have YouTube
hold
TV.
Your
so
select button down, and that takes you back and forth between the two stations.
Okay.
You can only do it between two, but at least they got that now.
Okay. I literally cannot stand Joe Buck at all. And Troy Aikman, because I was a Giants fan. I hate Troy Aikman. I mean, I don't hate the human, but he was a Dallas Cowboys quarterback. He beat the Giants many times. So I cannot. It's humanly impossible to listen to Aikman. And Aikman always sounds, I don't know. He's a fucking terrible commentator. I wish Tony Romo, because Tony Romo, I love him as a commentator. He's great, and he was a Cowboy.
Oh, see, that's where we're polar opposites.
But Joe Buck and Aikman, man.
Romo drives me fucking nuts, man.
Really? You like it?
I
really?
don't.
I like his passion, man, when he's commentating. Okay.
He just.
It's okay.
You know, everybody listening to this everybody listening to this podcast is like, you should like Romo because you're very much like him when you talk. But it's the way he talks that drives me nuts, man. He just, I don't know. I can't do it.
I like I like how energized he is. Here's what I like about Romo. Like before Romo, football has. Well, let me back up. Let me explain it better. Before Romo, those that played football went to the broadcast booth, never approached it the way he did. Right. So you're watching the game with Romo commentating. He calls out what the defense is lined up at. He tells you what the offense is lined up at, and then he calls the plays and shit. Like he's so engrossed in what's going on in film study and knowledge and football IQ that he knows what he's watching, and he shares that. I think that's why Eli and Peyton work so well, because they weren't around doing their show when Romo started. And when Romo started, and that had such an appeal to the viewership, because you grab fans right from an early age up, because little kids watch football with their dads and moms and stuff like that. So the more you can educate in a fun way watching the game, the more
Agreed, but
involved the viewers going to be, especially at a young age.
You have to be able to understand what he's saying.
True. When he talks about the formations in football language, I have those moments. What the fuck's he talking about? Like,
so he gets going so fucking crazy sometimes. You can't keep up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he does.
Like, so they're going to be doing this, and then the guy's going to go over here. And
I'll give you that for sure.
It's like that's what drives me nuts.
Yeah. He's like, I'll give you that. I'll give you that for sure.
It's okay.
He's not as like Madden did that shit, but Madden did it with his telestrator.
Madden did it.
Madden had a little bit more of a flair to it.
That's who Romo needs to watch is Madden, because Madden got to get animated, but he was also very clear with his message. You could understand what he was saying. You know, he would get excited, but he would make sure that he enunciated and got his message across.
Yeah, agreed.
He needs like a coach, you know, like a telestrator coach or a color
like
analyst
coach. Yeah. Well, I think that's why he's not the main guy, because most of them aren't the main guys. They're, they're all the. They have to go through broadcasting school at some level in order to do what they do, and see if they pass that stuff. So, oh come on! Somebody wants to show one of my houses. I have to say yes.
So you don't hate Troy Aikman because he was a cowboy. You just hate Troy Aikman.
No.
Well, Romo was a cowboy.
I
just dissect.
I know
that's
the thing.
You got to be careful who you tell things to. I figured it out.
Right.
That's what I do, man.
No, it's all good.
I just figured out your secret.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Yeah, it's not that I hate Romo. I don't like listening to. I mean Romo, Aikman. I don't like listening to Aikman. I just his.
He drones a little bit.
The way he talks, and it's you can tell the years of being hit in the head have caught up to him.
I will not argue with you there.
It just
I can hear that too.
Yeah, it's like the one person I cannot. Okay, and one person I cannot stand, fucking Michael Irvin, man.
Oh, he's
that
terrible.
Dude is just
unlistenable.
Oh my god, I don't know why. I don't know why he's still on. I don't. He's been fired so many times for off camera nonsense, and they keep bringing him back. It's like, dude, just go away, man. Just like he was. I don't know. Just crazy. I don't like him. I've never liked him. You know who was good was Boomer. And then I don't know why Chris Berman, I don't know why they took NFL primetime away with him and Tom Jackson. Because now he does it with that fucking idiot Booger. He calls himself Booger.
Yeah.
It just is stupid. It's just so stupid. It was, I don't know I wish I would know what happened to Tom Jackson, because Tom Jackson was cool, man. Tom Jackson was a cool dude.
Maybe he retired.
He was a Bronco, I think, too. So he was did he retire? Is that what happened?
Well, I don't know.
Damn it.
I'm just guessing. Now I'm just throwing shit out there.
That job. How can he retire how can he retire from that job?
You decide you got enough money and your house is badass and you got a beautiful view and you're like, I don't ever want to leave this.
Yeah,
you're talking to the wrong guy.
I could see that.
I could retire somewhere as long as I enjoyed the view.
Yeah.
If I got up every day and the ocean was right across the street, and it wasn't Florida, I'd be happy.
Right.
Because I'm not
What's wrong
living
with
down there
Florida,
with
man?
those crazy fucking craziness.
Yeah, I'm not either. I
They've
have a buddy.
passed
I have a really good friend. He's awesome. He's the
Listen,
guy that
listen.
they
These
passed what?
guys,
Yeah, I'm
these
listening.
guys were
I'm listening.
selling 10 times. This goes back about 10 years, but this is a true story. Florida was selling
Okay.
10 times
Okay.
the amount of opioid pills of all the other states combined in about 2013. 10 times. So you take the other 49 states
Wow.
and you add up all the prescriptions, one state in Florida was selling 10 times the amount of all the other 49 states combined, but you couldn't smoke a joint there. They would throw you in prison. It wasn't a misdemeanor. It was
that's
like
insane.
they had no tolerance for any other kind of drugs, but they were basically running pill mills down there. So there's just fucking crazy shit that happened. Then my sister went down there on vacation and fell in a sinkhole twice. So you know that the state's sinking into the fucking ocean. Yes. Yeah, she almost died. If my brother-in-law wouldn't have been there, she'd have been a goner.
So, fuck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think she'll be going back to Florida anytime soon either.
How did she fall in a sink? Like just walking down the street and she fell on the ground?
Walking down the beach. On the beach.
And just fell in a hole. And the hole just opened up. Like
the fucking ground just gave way and sucked her up. Yeah. Twice.
Like Gilligan's Island quicksand shit?
So if she would have been walking by herself, yeah. So if she would have been walking by herself, she would have died.
Wow.
Because my brother-in-law there was no way out.
Wow.
Like she was trapped up to her, biceps or whatever. So her arms were pinned in there.
Dude, okay. So that poses the question now. With missing persons cases in Florida, do they comb the beaches for sinkholes? Because, like you just said, if your sister was alone, she'd be dead, and you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know where she was because she got swallowed up by the earth.
Yeah, the next time the tide came
how many people
it would push that sand back in the hole. Right. Never thought about it. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wow. That's fucking nuts, man.
Unless they can run cadaver dogs up and down the beach. I don't know. Who knows? That would mean they'd have to
I don't
resources.
know how with all the, well, I guess with all the, yeah.
That would look bad for tourism, too, if you had cadaver dogs running up and down the beach.
Right. What's that dog doing on the beach? Oh, nothing. Just, looking for people. Well, all kinds of people. They're not dead. Oh, okay. That's a good name for a band. Cadaver Dogs. Right? Cadaver Dogs. That's great. There's my fucking list.
Throw it on the list.
That's fantastic. Cadaver Dogs, man. Yeah, fuck yeah. Little things, man. Wow. Cadaver dogs. That's insane. I never thought, and they are cadaver dogs because when they have those tragedies and shit, that they got to go sniffing the rubble, right? That's weird. I'm going to Google that shit because now I'm curious to know how many people have been swallowed up by Florida beaches.
Well, one of these days we'll have to get her.
Machine says.
One of these days we'll have to get her on here and have her tell the story because, she was there and she lived it and it is crazy. I mean, it's obviously scared the shit out of her and almost killed her. So I'll see if I can pin her down for like 20 minutes just to tell that part of the story because, I heard it third hand through my parents. So her and I have never really even talked about it since it happened. This was probably, November. I think they went there for their anniversary, if I remember right.
So
lay it on me.
So I Googled it, right? And I Googled Florida. I Googled Florida sinkhole deaths. I should go this way so I'm not outside of the Florida sinkhole deaths. February 27, 2024 is the first story that comes up. So not that long ago. Family vacation turned tragic when two young children became trapped in a sinkhole on a Florida beach. The hole collapsed on the children, burying them alive. The older brother, Maddox,
There you have it.
9, survived the incident after hospital, but his younger sister, Sloane, did not. She was 7. That's crazy, dude. How many? Okay, here we go. How many people have died from Florida sinkhole deaths? Let's see.
See the things you learn on this podcast?
Yeah, right. Well, it's not giving me the actual stat. It's just like among the 6 recorded deaths from sinkholes in Florida history, Jeffrey Bush, who was sleeping in his bedroom when a sinkhole sucked him 20 feet underground. He was never recovered. He was asleep in his bedroom, and the earth beneath him swallowed him up. You know what that is?
And he was never recovered.
It's time for you to go. Never recovered.
The universe
Never
has called you home, my friend.
Fuck yeah, dude.
The Reaper is here. No.
It won't give you an adequate thing. It's all random.
Well, fuck no. The whole state's based on tourism.
Guys making. Yeah, exactly.
That state.
Oh, they got
exist.
a map, dude. The Florida sinkhole map for 20.
You can only sell so many oranges. That's why they were selling pills.
Hold on.
Hold on one second.
The red dots are the Florida sinkhole map. It's the Florida sinkhole map. I am.
Hold that thing up again. Jesus. Dude, that's fucking crazy. Yeah. That's just further evidence as to why I stay away from there.
It's way crazy.
I don't like alligators, and there's all kinds of things.
And so I got a really good friend that's going to Florida.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna have to tell him about this.
Yes.
He's moving to Florida.
Oh, bad move.
Yeah.
Well, probably good. Probably.
He's moving. His father-in-law is giving him a job. No, he's getting a new gig. He's doing elevator stuff. Good money. Really good dude. He's the guy that drives the skid steer, moves my dirt. Little man loves him because he lets little man drive the skid steer with him. He's helped us build the playground and stuff. He's got this really cool digger thing that looks like an excavator that you stick in the ground and it goes 360 degrees, and little man's gonna be able to like dig holes and shit with it. It's gonna be pretty fucking epic when he gets it over here before he leaves.
I'm sure for him it's
to Florida.
Gonna
really
be
good
a
guy though, like super
great move. I'm not interested in going in places that tried to kill people I love. There's plenty of other places to go.
Sinkholes, man. It's fucking. I remember years ago there's a dude out here where I lived before it was all developed in Queen Creek that he was a farmer on his land and he fell into a 20-foot sinkhole and like I don't think they pulled him out alive. I think he died, which was unfortunate.
The earth is angry.
But yeah, just crazy shit, man. The earth is angry. Fuck yeah, Mother Nature, man. She's like she's got to get her due, right?
Yeah. Just to prove that we're not as cool as we think we are.
Have you ever watched that TV? Right. Have you ever watched that? Have you heard of Glow? Nikki and I are in the midst of watching Glow. It's the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. It's a true story.
Okay.
It's on Netflix.
I am not familiar.
It's about women wrestling. Yeah. It's all right. It's interesting. It's not the greatest show in the world. There's some moments where it's like, what the fuck, but it's a good show. And the reason I get that is because it had absolutely nothing to do with Florida at all.
That's fine, squirrel.
So what?
So here's what fascinates me about wrestling.
Squirrel.
Right? That's what this whole show is about, man.
Okay.
Somebody just asked a friend of mine before I walked up at work and a bunch of my buddies were standing together and
okay.
I walked off with my buddy Rob and I was like, oh, what are they up to? And he said, oddly enough, they were asking me about your podcast, just like what it was about.
Oh, right on.
He said, initially they started, talking about, being in the band, and he described, I was doing the podcast with you. And he said, but, then it just became kind of about whatever they want to talk about. He said, it's really, really interesting. You ought to check it out. So thanks for the plug.
Yeah. That's
so what fascinates me about wrestling.
That's what we do. It's not.
is that most people don't know that it is the highest grossing sport money-wise in the world. Hands down, it's not even close.
No shit.
Yes.
That's crazy. Watching Glow, you learn, like I didn't realize, we don't call it fake, it's choreographed, right?
Correct. It's
So,
an act. And it really is.
I didn't realize, right, but I didn't realize, totally, but I didn't realize until I watched this Glow thing, because they show you how they do what they do. So when somebody comes running to you and you suplex them, okay, so I always just assumed the dude that was picking the guy up and throwing him back, that was the dude doing all the move and all the strength and all the effort. The dude that comes running towards him is the one that has all the momentum.
Correct.
The dude that stands there is just allowing the momentum to take. But I never knew that till watching this show Glow, because they break it down to teach these chicks how to wrestle.
Ask me why I know this.
This character is. Why do you know this, Mike?
Because I had a friend that was way too into fucking wrestling. He was into wrestling like you and I are into music.
Right on.
So, yeah. It's just funny. I'm hearing all these conversations between me and Michael years ago. Dude, but you don't understand, man. What you're not understanding is that guy that's running at him. Yeah, he's the one doing all the work, man. See how it's beautiful. It's like art, you know. It was just an excuse for him to sit around and drink beer on a Saturday morning.
But it is, though.
It is art. It is.
Right, but once that I wrap my head around that concept, because Nikki and I are watching, I'm like, it's the fucking person coming towards us doing everything. It makes it that much more impressive, right? Especially with the big steroided out people like The Rock, you know, that are just so swollen. And you know, how the fuck does this guy move? Like, you don't need to be that big to do this shit. So, like, I don't know why steroids are so prevalent in that, because you think you would need to be more slim and agile with some bulk on you, but not fucking, you know.
Yeah, but that was all for,
I don't know, you know,
just the same reason that we got into the debate when we were talking about the look of the band, right? Whether that fucking mattered or not. And of course it mattered back then, and I agree with you. It probably to some degree matters now, depending on what you're doing. That was their selling point, is when you and I were kids, they had Andre the Giant, they had Hulk Hogan, they had Macho Man Savage. You know, these guys were all built like brick fucking. Hulk Hogan is a massive human being. Yeah, brother. Let me tell you, brother.
Ironically enough,
I love you. He's a great guy. Anybody that says brother
ironically
that much
enough,
is all right.
Todd, you know Todd Smith.
Yes, absolutely.
Right, my buddy
Came to our shows.
Todd Smith, who you know. I think he's 6'4". He has a picture next to Hogan. They're the same height. So but Hogan wasn't. They always claimed Hogan was like 6'7", almost 7 feet tall.
No,
he wasn't that tall. They exaggerated that shit, because it's legit. Him and Todd are like this. It's not. It's not.
He is.
It's like this.
But he's still a massive human being.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because he's got the weight behind him, but it wasn't anywhere as tall as. It's kind of like when we watch football and baseball on TV.
They lie.
You don't realize how big these people are until you're actually physically at a game. I know.
Sometimes they
don't know how big they are until you're physically at a game.
No, I told you I didn't know how big they were till I was standing right next to the guy. Right. I met that dude at this place right here. This is where I was standing, or the shirt I'm wearing.
Yeah. He's basketball player, right?
No, he's an ex-NFL lineman.
Was it basketball?
No, Detroit Lions.
That's right. Okay, that's right.
It's Rob Sims and Megatron. What's his name? Calvin Johnson?
Yes, Calvin Johnson.
Yeah. Those two guys own the place.
Calvin Johnson.
Well, my buddy Rob and I met Rob Sims, and he was an offensive lineman. So he's like 6'6".
Yeah. Oh, they're
probably
fucking big.
315, 320. And he had been retired for probably...
they're big boys for sure.
He's been retired for probably 7-8 years, and you can tell, man, he still stays in shape because his fucking arms were bigger than my thighs by a landslide.
Yeah.
he shook my hand,
shit.
and my hand
I've heard that
disappeared
about
inside
Earl
his.
Campbell. Earl Campbell has, That's
Literally, it
awesome.
was gone. It just all you could see was my wrist and the rest of my arm.
Your wrist. That's crazy.
I was like,
I have a
Jesus
picture
Christ,
somewhere
you're huge.
with yeah, I have a picture with Jeff Schwartz, who was the center during one of the Giants Super Bowl runs that they won against the Patriots. I ran into him at iHeart when I was doing my radio show. He was on the sports side doing something. So Steve Giannini, the guy that was kind of made sure my show was doing what it was doing, he's like, "Oh, come meet Jeff. He's he played for the Giants. He'll get a kick out of him." I'm like, "All right, sweet." So I'll find the picture and post it. So I went and met him. Kind of the same concept. Hand disappeared, but then Steve's like, "You guys want a picture?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, I want a picture." Kid you not, Jeff Schwartz, without doing anything, just lifted his elbow up and placed it on top of my head. That's the height difference. My
That's
head,
crazy.
just like I'm doing this, that's where my head was. And I'll find it and post it on our page because legit. I'm standing straight up, dude. Boom. And I'm like, fuck, okay, you're a big man. Super nice
That's
guy.
like
lives in the valley. I don't
that's
know what
like
he does
fucking.
now, but back then, yeah.
That's like Rogan talking about meeting Shaq, and he's like, I came up to his dick because Rogan's shorter than me. He's like 5'8", 5'7", 5'8".
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
So Shaq was on Fear Factor,
and you can't see that when you watch people on TV.
He's like, Shaq was on. He's talking about how human beings are not the same. He's like, everybody says we're all created equal. He's like, that's bullshit. You know, equally in your mind, but physically,
totally
fuck no. And he says, let me tell you a story. Shaq was on Fear Factor. He says, there's a picture of us standing next to each other. I look like Shaq's little brother. I come up to his dick. The top of my head is where his dick is. It's like, I'm looking up at him like, this is a massive human being. Funny. If he wanted to, he could squash me like a fucking grape, you know?
That's crazy. That's awesome.
That's another reason to have my sister on here, because she also knew your punter for a long time. Didn't you have a great punter for a long time? He's not playing anymore, but years
Steve
ago.
Weatherford. Steve Weatherford.
Yep. She knows him.
Yeah. He kind of went into the off the deep end a little bit when the Giants didn't sign him because he didn't get picked up. I follow him on Facebook. He's still ripped. He's still like straight up fucking just shredded, but he went super religious. And then I don't know what happened, because about 2 or 3 weeks ago, one of his stories came up, and it was this slutty chick. So I don't know if he got hacked or he's like, ping-panging between the realms of reality, because punters get hit in the head too. So, but yeah, he went a little wacky, like just kind of started dressing like Cam Newton, Cam Newton's post-game press conferences, that kind of shit. Super religion. He's got super into religion. He kind of like the Bible Belt thumping type, all his little, like, I had to stop following him because I'll fucking love everybody, but he just kind of went up a notch and just kept going and kept going. Nobody told him to reel it back in. He just kept going. And it's like, whoa, dude, just, respect that you're a football player and you're, the fittest dude in the NFL. That was badass. And, he's got a couple Super Bowl rings, but yeah, man, he went whack-a-mole somehow. Don't know why.
Well, like you said, they get hit in the head too.
Teaches. Yeah. Oh yeah. To each his own,
Yeah, to each his own, until you're not adding a positive influence into my life. So what I heard out of your statement is I would have done the same thing, because as soon as someone starts trying to push shit down my throat in a negative manner, I check out real quick. If you're not trying to help me,
me too,
positively in any way, I have no use for you at all. I wish you well. I don't wish anybody any ill will, but I don't have time for that bullshit anymore. Time is going way too fast, man.
Yep, it is, because, tomorrow we're going to be 60. Like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck?
40 the whole 40s decade went super quick. That's all I can say. I snapped my fingers and I turned 50.
Everything goes quick once you hit 4. I think that's why when we were, I think that's why when we were growing up, 40 was over the hill. Because once you hit 40, then, you know, in my childhood,
Seemed
once
like
you
people
hit 40,
died
it was
quick.
downslope. Because in 50, 55, you're moving. Right, you're moving into those 55 plus communities, and then you're dead because you retire. You're dead within 5 years. So, like, right now we have,
Used to
I don't
be.
know if it's accurate or not, but I want to say 25,000 people turning 65 every day in America.
Oh, that's probably accurate. The baby boomers were a crazy population,
Which is,
you know.
mm-hmm.
And this is the
Because
end
of
of
the
them,
80s
right?
music, man. I think so,
60s.
yeah. This is it. So then the world's
50s.
fucked. Because all the logic is gonna die. You know, all the common sense is gonna die. You know,
A lot of it.
because it just doesn't exist anymore. Like prime example
It exists
of
right here on this
common
podcast.
sense. Okay, I was showing houses. The
How
other
dare
day.
you?
It does, but that's rare. It does, but it's rare.
That's why we're
so
here.
This is the example of common
Right?
sense. So I was showing houses. Yes, yeah. We have these blue lock boxes. Okay, let me get the block box. I'm gonna show you. I'll show you the listeners.
Show and tell, listeners. Everybody at home, if you're not tuned into Spotify, you
This is a
cannot
lock
see
box.
this. So tune into Spotify and you can see the video.
Right. So this isn't a lock box. This is a super lock box. This is used for realtors to show houses in Arizona. I'm pretty sure it's kind of a worldwide thing or nationwide thing.
Pretty universal. I've
The
seen
reason
one
we
now
use
that you
this
showed
is
me.
because it tracks my right. So the reason we use this is it tracks my every movement. So if I go show a house and it's 3:00, I open that door and then I disappear. They know where to look for me last. I was at this house. I popped a lockbox at 3:00. Go there, find me dismembered and stuffed in a closet. Okay, we found him. Right. That's the whole purpose. It's safety.
Do you have like a
it
unique
tells the
ID
owners if the owner
or
comes
something?
home.
Is that how this
Yes,
works?
I do. Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
So that ID
does.
is attached to Chris
So-
Dunham. It
so-
knows
and
that
then it
Chris
works this
Dunham's
way.
a real estate agent, and you
Correct.
were at such and such an address today at 1:00. All right.
As Fonzie would say, correctamundo. So we're supposed to use these things not only for that, but just for security, because the same concept of this. I have your house listed for sale. Somebody comes in, sees your guitar. They love it. They take your guitar. You come home from work 2 hours later. Holy shit. You call me up, Chris, dude, my guitar's gone. What are you talking about? My car's gone. I don't know what happened. Did anybody show the house today? I can access my lockbox. I can pull up the activity. Yes. Les Paul showed your house at 4:00 today, Mike. Let me find out what the fuck. So then I call the realtor. Hey, dude, you showed my client Mike's house. His guitar's missing. You were the last one in the house. So I need you to figure out what the fuck. I'm going to call the police and file a report. So it's that. So there's two reasons we use those boxes. Okay. That,
All
and
right.
it's guaranteed access. Those boxes rarely fuck up. So it's guaranteed access. So I'm showing 6 houses yesterday. Super nice family. Their little girl, 2-year-old girl, Aria, fucking loves me. It's the cutest thing. She gets out of the truck and the first thing she wants to see is the real estate guy. Like she takes you through
Can't
the
blame
house
her.
and we look at things while the parents are doing their stuff so they can watch. Right. You know, thank you. So we get to the 5th house. It has a contractor lockbox on it. Contractor lockbox is jammed shut. Just so happens this is the house that Cotresha's wife loved on paper. We can't get in it. I call the realtor up. I'm like, doesn't answer his phone. Not a shock there. Most realtors don't answer their phone. In fact, 49% of all realtors last year sold one house. You know why? Because they don't answer their phone. So we're getting ready to.
How do you make a living selling one house?
49% of all realtors in the country sold one. I have no idea. Sold one house.
In the country?
99% of the realtors, because probably those 49% of those realtors in the country.
Yeah.
The average realtor in America sells 4 to 6 houses a year.
How do you make a living doing that? What do you get, 6%?
Well, it depends. No, you don't get 6%. You get whatever the co-broker fee is. So if when I list a house, if I list it for 6%, then the buyer agent gets 3 and I get the other 3.
Okay.
But most realtors aren't full time. It's a side gig. It's a side hustle. Like people like
All right.
me, that do it full time. It's it's not very commonplace. But yeah, in the entire country, you got to take the entire United States of America. National Association of Realtors facts are that the average realtor across the board, across the country, sell 4 to 6 houses a year. Last year, 49% of those realtors sold one house. Okay.
Damn.
So this idiot that I'm showing this house to has a contractor box on it. Well, the contractor box is jammed. Calling me, doesn't answer his phone. Getting ready to text him, he calls me back. Tell him who I am. He's pissed off at me because I can't get into his house because his contractor box is jammed, and I ask him, why don't you use the armless lockbox?
How the fuck is that your fault?
Like, dude, I didn't jam your lockbox because he's an asshole. That's why I'm not mentioning his name. But straight up, he was pissed off at me. And then then he texted me, I have a lockbox coming in 30, 40 minutes. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to be here for 30 to 40 minutes. I said, if I'm still in the city at that time, let me know. And if we're still here, I'll go back and show it. I said, but you wasted my client's time. You're wasting my time. Put a box on it. It's simple. The problem is those are $100, $140 a pop. So if you're not a full-time agent and you're selling one house a year, you really think you're going to go buy blue lock boxes like that? Probably not.
No.
So next house I go to for this couple, right, has a blue lock box. Yay. Open it up. I joke with them. Hey, I got it in, and it won't fit. The key won't turn the screen door lock. It won't open it. I tried. I let him try, and I'm a professional door opener because this is what I do for a living. So I pull up the listing, and so there's 2 numbers in the listing, and there's 1 number on the sign, okay? I call all 3 numbers. No one answers the phone. I wait a minute. I call all 3 numbers again. Nobody answers the phone. The 3rd number, this time, I let it take me to the general mailbox and put me on hold. I'm on hold for about 2 minutes. Then it takes me to the general voicemail box. So I can leave a message. This is a huge team. I'm going to drop their name. This is Keller Williams KP Elite Realty in Arizona. You suck ass. You don't answer your phone. My clients wanted to see your house. We couldn't see your house because none of you dumb fucks had the wherewithal to actually pick up your phone. So I have to leave a message in the general mailbox. So by the time we're at, let's just throw this house on the mix. So we found another one. So 15 minutes later, we're at the final house we're looking at that my clients love, put a deal together today. They bought the house, which is a lesson that we learned at KP Elite, this other dumbass that has a contractor lockbox, because they liked both those houses too. So you don't know who would have won. It took her 15 minutes calling back. She's pissed off at me because I left her. She's like, well, your message, you sounded rather frustrated. Yeah, I was frustrated. You're a realtor. I'm a realtor. We have to do better. We have to answer our phone. Notice how when you called me, I said, hi, this is Chris. So you know who I am, and you know that I'm answering my phone. So,
right.
Yeah, now we're at a whole different house. I don't have an answer for you. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you then. I'm not going to show your house. So it's a disservice to your clients. It makes you look really bad because there was no way for me to get into a house that your clients have listed for sale that they hired you to sell. So when they get pissed off at you for not selling your house, you can tell them 2 things. Number 1, you don't answer your phone ever. And number 2, you didn't provide access to the house. So when we do feedback, because I have a little feedback machine, I put that in there. I couldn't access your home. And all 3 numbers associated with your listing agent and brokerage didn't answer the phone. I don't know how many leads you guys are missing out on because you don't answer your phone. Best of luck.
You know who's listening to this right now?
The other thing that drives me nuts when people answer the phone.
Agreeing with you 1,000,000%. Mama K. Because she was trying to get somebody to fix her roof. And she called a roofer here in town no less than 3 times, and they never called her back. So obviously she went with somebody else.
It blows my mind.
Found other options. And then about a week before she was going to go to Arizona, that said person called her and said, sorry, I haven't gotten back to you. You know how that conversation went, right? Sorry, I went with somebody else. It's like, you got to answer your fucking phone, man. You're in business for yourself. You have to answer the phone or hire somebody to do it.
And see, here's the thing. Right. And see, if I don't answer my phone, I'm doing things like this. I text them back. Hey, I'm on the phone. I'll get right back to you. And if it's a super important thing, you see me do it, I will text them back because obviously this is what I do for a living. but it's just like there's a realtor that called me wanting to show one of my listings, right? I even alluded to that earlier. I got to approve this showing. So I clicked the link, approve the showing, and I text them, hey, I got your message. I just approved the showing. No offers. Go at it. It's not that hard. The world, and the other thing that drives me nuts about realtors, if they haven't done it very long, okay, like I call the realtors before I show the houses. I email them, and then I call them, make sure there's no offers, right? So I would call you up, Mike, and if you answer the phone, hello, you just floored me, because I'm looking. I answer my phone, hi, this is Chris.
Right.
Whenever whoever calls me, because
Unless it's me.
Hi, this is Chris. I'm a professional. This is my business line, right? There's realtors that straight up just answer phone, hello. I'm like, shit. Is this Mike Michaels from Keller Williams? Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry, you threw me off because you just said hello.
The phone, right?
And then exactly. And then the other fun thing is, I've come across realtors that don't have voicemail set up. Legit.
Oh my God.
I've come across realtors that have their voicemail saying, you have reached 602-321-6188. Please leave a message. Who the fuck am I calling? And then you double back and look at the sheet. Like, am I calling the right person? Did I misdial? Well, for that example, yes. But did I but it is. But did I misdial? You know what I mean? It's those weird little things, man, that our industry is getting slammed right now because of some stupid lawsuits that make absolutely no sense, of which this is funny. Okay. The attorneys are taking 40% of the settlement fees, right? 40%.
They always do.
So if you settle for a million, I know that, but it's a big thing. Like, oh, realtors have fucked everybody. Really? The attorneys settled because they're getting 40% of a $60 million lawsuit. And then you take that 40 away, and then you got to pay for all the court fees. There's an issue about how we get paid. I'm the guy that I'm very transparent. I tell people exactly how much I get paid, who pays me, how that happens. I've done that for 20 years. Used a buyer broker agreement.
Yes.
Right. So everything
I was there.
Disclosed.
I remember.
I've never hid anything from anybody. No. Yeah, I have a little transaction fee now that I even lay out, right? Because if I sell 10 houses and I got to pay $500 per file,
very little, because we didn't have any money.
Yeah, whatever. Right, but I get paid by the selling broker, so that's the thing. When I sell a house in Arizona, we get paid by the listing agent. We get paid by the listing brokerage. Well, what's changing now, once this lawsuit is settled, is that they'll no longer, when you go to Zillow, because this Zillow, the fucking assholes they started this shit. Zillow decided we're going to put everybody's commissions online so all the buyers can see it. So for people that weren't honest and upfront like me, those people got pissed off. Now understand, most buyers agents get compensated by the listing brokerage, right? So ABC Realty selling your house, XYZ buyer's agent comes to buy your house, ABC Realty, this commission does come out of the seller proceeds, but it's funneled through the listing brokerage. Okay.
Right.
Never costs buyer's agent any money out of pocket, at least in Arizona, as far as I know. I don't know what happens in the Midwest and East Coast. Back in the East Coast, you pay your realtor, whether you're a buyer's agent or listing agent. That buyer or that seller is paying that realtor direct, which is what the buyer broker's for here. So somewhere in Missouri, a bunch of people got pissed off because they found out their agent made, let's say $3,000 on a $100,000 purchase. So they decided to sue because they didn't think that was fair. So a class action lawsuit happened. This is a real simple explanation. The class action lawsuit happened because this person obviously didn't disclose something, because that's why anything gets sued, because you failure to disclose. Prime example, started in real estate 25 years ago, purchase contract was 7 pages. Now it's like 48 with addendums, because one of those things is a 30-page buyer advisory. Okay, right. But my brokerage is different. The fact that we have our own continuing education classes once a month. We have some professional peer come in and teach us things. So we are always educating ourselves. We're always in the know. We meet once a week. We call them fireside chats. We share knowledge and hints and tips. Hey, I saw this. I saw that. This is bullshit. What do you think of this? This will help you. This
Which is incredibly smart,
stuff, right? Camaraderie, rapport. Thank you. It is. Kudos to Nick, the managing broker, owner of Broker Sub Realty, because that's all his mindset and how he
rolls. Nick. That's super smart.
So the big firms that got slammed in this lawsuit were like the Keller Williamses and the Remaxes and whatever. So they all bend over and settle because, oh God, we can't have a lawsuit. NAR, the National Association of Realtors, are a bunch of fucking pussies. They won't stand up and fight for anything. They're just kind of a figurehead. They think we're going to figure it out, so they kind of push us off on this island, which whatever. So we have to deal with the nonsense that's all coming down the pipeline, when all it came down to was the person that did what they did failed to disclose what they were doing, and that in turn screws it up for everybody else involved. So sometime between July and December, the hubbub is there's no longer going to be co-brokerage fees on the MLS sheets. So now you're going to have, I have my house listed for sale, you want to show it, you're going to have to call me and ask me if my seller's paying you a co-broker fee, because it's not going to be listed. They call it price fixing. Well, it's never been price fixed. Nobody's ever said, oh, this is what we make. When I started in real estate, it was always, everything I ever did was 6%. It's 3% buyer side, 3% seller side. When the market crashed in 2008-ish, short sales took over, foreclosures took over, things like that. So that kind of changed. Then it went down 2.5%, which, okay, it is what it is. We still do our job. We still work, but there are agents out there that won't show something if they don't get the certain percent in their mind that they're worth, which, more power to them, but they're just fucking themselves out of business, because, I'm doing right now. That's below it's the lowest compensation I will have gotten in my entire career, but I still sold them the house. I didn't even bat an eye, because I don't care. It's, you take care of one, they feed you 20, right? It's right. You take care of people, they take care of you. But there's people that don't disclose that. There are people that weren't upfront about their fees and costs and things like that. And that's what sparked the lawsuit, that's the chaos that's ensuing. So that's why it irritated me that these realtors, like, in this climate, answer your phone, man. Just answer your phone. If you can't answer it, text me back. I do that. Sorry, I'm with clients. I'll call you back. My phone rang while we were doing this. I have an automatic response. I scroll down. I'm sorry, I'm with clients. I'll call you back. Now, you're not a client, but you're a past client, because I helped you buy and sell a house. So still, you are in some way, shape, or form a client per se. So I didn't mislead, but it's not going to say, I'm sorry, I'm with my friend. I'll call you. So, but that's the thing. So the professionalism is going away, because everybody thinks real estate's so easy that, oh, just put a sign in the yard and have a nice day. It's not that easy. It's one of the most highly stressful jobs that you can have. I'm dealing with unique situations right now that have to do with separation of church and state. Let's just call it that, with people dividing houses and stuff. And I tell you what, dude, the stress level that we have, because I have 9 listings and about half a dozen buyers. So I have to deal with 15 different personalities on a daily basis. If they're married, I have to deal with 40 different personalities on a daily basis. I have to answer all the questions all the time, have to be readily available at a moment's notice. But the only person's paycheck that's going down in this entire world right now are realtors. Attorneys are charging more. Doctors are charging more. It costs you more at the grocery store. It costs you more at the gas pump. It costs you more to go out and eat, right? All these people are charging more. You want to go to Orange Theory Fitness? Guess what? When I started Orange Theory Fitness, it's $119 a month. Now it's $200. You could do yoga before for like $20 for, so many sessions, and now it's like $100 a month. So everything's going up in cost, except what realtors make. We're getting completely screwed, because people don't understand how much we do, how involved we are. We're protecting the greatest financial asset that most people will have in their lifetime. They'll pay a lawyer $1,000 an hour to build a trust, but they won't pay somebody with 25 years experience. They'll fight me for 0.5%. It's mind-boggling. And I don't sit around twiddling my thumbs. I do shit. I market. I'm on every day doing shit, and it's just mind-boggling, man.
I agree with you, but the only thing that I'll add to it is we all take a haircut in our paycheck, because we're all paying more for everything, right? I've noticed it too.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. And I'm not, believe me, I'm not sitting here, woe is me, I need to be paid more money. I am perfectly fine how I'm compensated, because I earn every dime I make. And I'm not that guy that I don't, yeah.
I didn't take it that way, but what I just wanted to add one thing so people have this in the back of their minds. When they're being spoon-fed every day that inflation is caused by your current government, the people that are there,
right.
And when I mean spoon fed, since we started doing this podcast, real quick, I recently started watching the news again just to see what's going on. And here's what I noticed. I don't give a shit about any of it.
Yeah.
I know it's all bullshit. If you don't know it's bullshit, do some research. It's bullshit. And here's how you know it's bullshit. Every one of them are saying the exact same thing at some point in time or another. It's fucking propaganda. All of them. So.
Right.
I lost my fucking point. Anyway, what the hell was I talking about? The news. Where'd I go with the news? Jesus Christ.
News.
Yeah. Anyway.
How you just started watching the news when we started the podcast because you hadn't watched the news for so long.
Yeah, just to see that there was the propaganda that was going on, where they're not just kind of saying the same thing. They're literally saying the exact same thing on every station, no matter if you lean to the right or the left. What I was going to say about the current situation of the government was you have to, now I remember my thought. You have to look into the fact that in 2023, every major corporation, not 5 of them, not 7 of them, not 20 of them, every major corporation that is on the Dow Jones had record profits. The key word being record profits, not just profits.
Record, yeah, right.
They made more money in 2023 than they've ever made in the history of their corporations. So is it inflation or is it fucking greed? So the media is pumping propaganda into your brain every day, and you're buying into it if you watch that bullshit with any regularity, and then you go out and you only have so much time in your day to retain information, right? I'm not trying to be like critical to the average person. You're trying to raise a family. You're trying to get them to soccer practice, blah, 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 whatever. You watch the news, you're like, oh God, inflation's bad. Joe Biden's bad. This is real bad. Gas is up. It's bad. Everything's bad, 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 bad. That's all you hear all day long. Nobody tells you that ExxonMobil made $150 billion fucking dollars in profit.
Right.
It's called supply and demand, people. That's what it's called. They cut their manufacturing back. They keep claiming that there's supply chain issues. They cut the refineries back, and Joe Biden looks like an asshole. I told you on the podcast that's never been released, so I'll just say it again. My favorite meme on fucking Facebook is the one that say, Miss Donald Trump, November 2020, gas was $1.86 a gallon. Yeah, no fucking shit, because nobody was driving anywhere. You were told you had to stay home. Demand was at an all-time record low in the history of the fucking world. Of course it was $1.86, you morons. They're adorable. Those are my favorite people ever. Don't understand economics to save their ass.
No.
Oh, Trump. I wear my American flag boots, and I got an American flag hat, and I'm going to all the rallies, and Jesus Christ, we're going to change the world. No, you're not.
America.
That's my rant.
Oh, the fun. Hey, good. It's a good rant, man. This was a good show. We've been going at 90 minutes, so we got to wrap this puppy up. I got shit to do. You got shit to do. We both probably got to pee because we always have to pee.
I did drink this beer here,
and I got to upload.
Go Cubs.
Yeah, I got to upload. So this is 27. Yeah. Oh, go Cubs. This is 27.
Yeah.
Right.
27
episode.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll upload 26. When we hang up, I'll upload 26. I hang up. I'll get that going. I apologize for not doing that yesterday. I blitzed it. Sunday. I gotta put it on my calendar to do that shit. I just forget. Sunday's such a lazy day sometimes where I work my ass off in the yard.
You were on a roll there for a while.
So I was. I'll try to get back on the roll again. I apologize because I know people look forward to seeing that shit, and And hey, I restarted my computer again, and I switched to the other Wi-Fi, so we had no glitches this time at all.
We had 0 glitches. 0. Yes. Good job.
0 glitches. 0. Nada.
We'll give you
none.
We'll give you some fireworks.
Ooh! fireworks. I got no fireworks, man.
You don't. You
fuck?
probably don't have your effects on.
All right, boys and girls. I don't know how to do that. All right, boys and girls. You'll have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening to our silly little show.
Absolutely.
The Suns, what we learned today is the Phoenix Suns suck. The Phoenix Suns suck. Don't
So
compare gas prices to today in 2020 because we weren't driving our cars back then.
Use your brain.
The NFL is turning into a pussy league. Sorry, Mama K. Yeah, the NFL is turning into a non-compete league.
It's a pussy league,
and
I'll say it too.
What else did we learn today? It's a pussy league. Yeah. And Mike's gonna finish his beer and go have some food, and I'm gonna call a bunch of people back and put out some fires because that's what I do.
I did that all day today, so I'm done. I'm going to have some sweet Italian sausage that I made on the grill last night. It was delicious.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I will leave you with a piece of advice.
If you need anything, reach out.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Go ahead.
Do not put your nose straight into the corner of the medicine cabinet door. It's ill-advised. It's my tip for the week.
It is ill-advised. But also don't use that as an excuse for the shadow man throwing your face into the medicine cabinet in a domestic violence situation with an extraterrestrial. I'll just, I'll throw that out there just in case.
We'll get my dad on here to talk about all of the above.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Hey, congratulations to your parents' anniversary, man. What was it? What did I see? 54 years?
48 years. 1976 to 2024.
48 years. 48 years. That's fantastic. Nice.
Yes.
Nice job, you guys. Proud of you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, cool.
We
Have a great day,
love
my
them.
friend.
We're going to keep them around.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, to you as well, my friend. Peace.
Have a great rest of your day.
You too, brother.
Peace.
Love you, man.
Love you. Love you too, brother. Oh, yeah. Snap it to a Slim Jim.